Dude, be so for real right now. In 2012, I was 7 years old and vividly remember picking up Black Ops 2. We were living penny to penny when I was a kid, so getting a new video game was a pretty exciting event for me, especially a brand new one on release. That never happened. My father had picked me up from a friend's house and took me to GameStop to pick it up, and for some reason they sold out of game cases, if I remember properly, so it came in like this like one of those old used GameStop cases, if you guys remember those. What a throwback, dude. I haven't seen one of those in years. I don't have to tell you how much of an event Black Ops 2 was. It continued the universally beloved story of the first entry, which was an action-packed and original take on a Call of Duty game. The previous entries focused a lot more on large-scale military operations, real-life war, and special operations, but Black Ops was a lot different and a lot more unique. A semi-historical, psychological, personal revenge story with a military backdrop. Black Ops isn't just a fantastic game, but it's an amazing story. Turn this into one of your dime a dozen TV shows and watch the ratings skyrocket. Never mind, the cast isn't diverse enough. It's all white guys. We have 2 Modern Warfare 1s, 2s, and 3s. I'm frankly sick of seeing COD yearly, and I know I'm not the only one. Despite that, I'm watching this trailer, and I was still a little excited until it hit me. Will this allow me to enjoy the story Black Ops 1 and 2 told to a greater extent? No. Can this ruin my enjoyment of the original story told by Black Ops 1 and 2? No, I no longer care. Those games were developed by what is likely a team that has been almost entirely replaced, if not entirely replaced, and obviously the originals were not written with this latest installment in mind, seeing as this takes place 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2. Never mind the fact that Black Ops 2 had a branching timeline and multiple endings, and making a story that takes place directly after the events of Black Ops 2 will canonize a specific ending. So I no longer care. So many IPs face this issue, but a lot of my sympathy goes towards the original creators and writers. How are you ever supposed to future-proof your stories and your writing when people are writing into your work 10 to 20 years after your involvement has ended? You can't. There's a couple big reasons why IPs aren't popping up and sequels became the norm. Modern writing quality is so absolutely horrendous that they need to latch on to previously known characters and worlds so that they can ruin those too.
I'm gonna be a dad. I'm gonna be a dad. I'm gonna be a dad. I'm gonna be a dad.
Holy hell, get out of my face. I'm so sick of it, man. I mean, look at this. 6 of these products were written by the OG writer. 6! And this isn't even everything! No video games, shorts, or comics are in here. Other stories that changed the canon. Let's look at The Acolyte. Took place in a period of the series nobody wondered about or cared about because the Jedi's reputation was more than well established by that point, not only by the movies, but the Clone Wars and the comics. With this series alone, Disney has completely ruined the entire mythos of the original 6 movies by undermining Anakin's uniqueness and maybe even his place in the galaxy. If you didn't watch the show, the 2 main characters are born by Immaculate Conception / the Force, which was what made Anakin so powerful and what set him apart. Also 2 moms, because, of course, right? You can check that off your list, Disney. Do you think Lucas had any idea this would happen to his writing? I mean, hell, do you think he'd even believe it would still be going on? The prequels ended in 2005. If you're gonna continue the series, continue it with more movies with input from the creator at the very least so it still contains what made it special. But I imagine it would make trouble for the millennial writers to push their political and social agendas into the final product if they had a good writer looking over everything they did. At the bare minimum, someone who cared. It's pure consumerism. As someone who deeply loves and enjoys stories in any form, whether it be books, video games, movies, comics, it hurts me to know that every series I've grown up with has been killed and reanimated to be a pale imitation of itself. Going back to the original subject of this video, Call of Duty suffered a lot of growing pains, especially during and after Infinite Warfare. A campaign that was good, followed by the disaster of a story like Black Ops 3. They then sold Black Ops 4, with no campaign. Isn't it wild how they sold 3/4 of a product for full price and we still bought it? Isn't that crazy? They legit didn't even try. Along with subpar multiplayer, and in my opinion, a bad zombies experience. Fortnitification sure started though, tons of $20 skins. Only difference here is these were $20 skins in a $60 game, which they sure still love doing. The previous 2 games had microtransactions as well. Infinite Warfare to a complete pay-to-win extent, which it kind of makes sense that Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 4, and maybe even a little bit of Black Ops 3 is where the Call of Duty identity was really called into question. Yet another side effect of a series overstaying its welcome. The developers have completely lost the plot. From a semi-realistic military shooter displaying the struggles, triumphs, and horrors of war, This game now contains superheroes, anime characters, and Nicki Minaj. Whatever, man. Okay. Oh, so Call of Duty can have a new installment every year, but I haven't had a new Fallout in a decade. Come on, bro. Look at this. Ref, do something! This is a poorly disguised video, I'll admit it. The title would make it seem as if I have some insight or some actionable plan to stop the decay of modern media, but I don't, so I'm gonna sit here and complain. I will die on my soapbox and I will be heard. The worst part is, it isn't even entirely the writer's fault, because when you sell a script, no matter what it's for, it's likely to be rewritten, cannibalized, revived and revised into an unrecognizable slop pile of garbage. Because production is considered a team sport. If they deem your story as not working with the team, it will be changed. Which, hot take, if you aren't a writer, why do you have your hands on the story at all? If you had the creative capacity to come up with any of the work you're altering, you would have. Genuine writing is gone, replaced by algorithm-approved, focus-grouped content designed to offend nobody and say nothing. It's not about telling a story anymore, it's about pushing messaging, checking boxes, and selling merchandise. A consumer paradise. Every piece of writing comes from the human experience: brotherhood, pain, loss, hope, triumph, acceptance, revenge, hate. But companies have neglected humanity to create characters that feel like cardboard. Look at Spider-Man 2. Look, I love this game. I don't remember who said this, but someone said the characters in the game talk like their employers are listening. I honestly don't think I've ever heard a more accurate description of how not to write character dialogue. So what do? We stop supporting the corporations that feed us slop. Indie games have evolved so much in the last decade that we can live pretty comfortably off most independent projects for a while. You might even end up enjoying some games you'd initially written off. And not every corporation pushes slop. I mean, go play some Dark Souls, those games are great. Going back and playing older games can be a massive fresh air. The early 2010s, before the industry found the formula for printing money, back when every studio had growing pains and was just trying to figure out what they were doing. This was the age of ambition, more or less. It's unfortunate, but the stories that we love are dead, and they are repeatedly revived by people that hate you as the consumer. And they don't even understand what they're making half the time. Thanks for listening to me rant. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you sticking to the end.